So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be sticking with taking Lexapro with my microdosing magic mushrooms. When I first started microdosing, I had a feeling that things were working so well that I would ultimately be able to wean myself off of the Lexapro. So just a little backstory for those of you that don't know exactly my story. About a year and a half ago or so, I started on Lexapro. I think I started with probably 10 milligrams, and then over time, I had to increase it, and it got to a maximum dose of 20 milligrams of Lexapro every day. And it was working pretty well. Was it perfect? No, but it pretty much reduced my depression and anxiety to the point where it was acceptable. I still had days that were not great, but it was better than it had ever been. Enter microdosing magic mushrooms, which I started a little under a year ago, and pretty quickly after I started the microdosing of the psilocybin mushrooms, I felt better than I had felt basically in my entire life. I mean, it seemed like every day was really, really good, meaning there was no depression and really no anxiety at all. I thought magic mushrooms were like the total answer. So what I did after, and not only that, I was able to totally get off of my blood pressure medication, which is the only other medication I was taking, because my blood pressure went down to normal as soon as I started taking, or very shortly after I started taking magic mushrooms. I thought this was the total answer, and my goal was to wean myself off of the Lexapro, which I started doing. I went from 20 milligrams down to 15, which seemed okay. And then a couple months later, I went down to 10 milligrams of Lexapro per day. But when I went down to 10, I really started feeling not as good anymore. I had some days that I felt, it's kind of hard to explain, but some anxiety and some depression. Although it was mild, it's something that I had not experienced at all since I started on the magic mushrooms. So my conclusion was, now since then I went back to 15 milligrams of Lexapro. So basically my regimen now is 15 milligrams of Lexapro every day and still microdosing magic mushrooms. And that combination for me seems to be perfect. I'm not embarrassed to say that I think maybe I need both. It's okay to say that. I mean, my goal is to feel good. My goal is not to say that I'm on something or off of something and something's working or something's not working. No. My goal is to feel like I should every single day. And I think I've reached that, admitting that, yes, a small part of this might be continuing my Lexapro while I microdose magic mushrooms. And for me, now everybody's different, but for me, that seems to be like the perfect combination, because since I started upping my Lexapro dose again to 15 milligrams, the really good feeling has come back. And it's not just the Lexapro, it's definitely a combination, because I never felt this way before starting to microdose. I hope I'm not throwing a lot of things together at you that don't make sense. It's pretty simple, actually. The combination of Lexapro and microdosing magic mushrooms, for me, seems to be the perfect solution. Everybody's different. Some people probably can get away without using any Lexapro or any SSRI or any antidepressant as long as they're microdosing. With me, I try that. It just doesn't seem to work. I think I need both. And again, the most important thing is finding the solution. It's you know, I could be up here bragging and saying, oh, I don't use any antidepressants anymore. I don't need them. But it's simply not, it doesn't seem to be the case for me. Now, maybe in the future, I'd be able to wean off of the Lexapro and only use the microdosing. I'm not sure. But for now, I think I found like the perfect combination, if you will. And it just makes me feel great every day. So my question is, if that's the case, why not stick with that? Why not stick with something that really, really works? And for me, the combination of 15 milligrams of Lexapro and my microdosing regimen of psilocybin mushrooms seems to be just A-okay. If you're not sure how much I'm taking as far as microdosing, go back and check. I've got a whole bunch of videos that talk about how I microdose, what I microdose, how often, the dosage, everything. I'm not going to repeat that all in this video, but just go back and check prior videos. I share everything, and I'll continue to share things as more information unfolds here. Thanks so much for watching me. If you haven't subscribed yet, every subscription and every like does help my channel. It's a small channel, but I'm trying just to get out there to some people that just don't feel great every day with anxiety, depression, PTSD, insomnia, what other type of condition or issue you might have. I found that microdosing is just something that I wish I would have known about 20 to 30 years ago or more. Talk to you soon. I'm Dr. Dave.